Well, I just heard from Amber Lawley. I want to take this time to thank them for sponsoring our shows last week. They called to let me know that my subscribers bought a lot of their CBD lotion. I was really happy to hear that. As their way of saying thank you to my subscribers, they are now offering you this deal. For every 3 items you buy, the 3rd item will be free. That's right. So every time you buy 3 items, the 3rd item is free. Just use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and the 3rd item is free. One thing I've learned about this lotion, not only does it help with joint pain as well as muscle pain, but man, it makes your skin really smooth. So as an added bonus, not only does it help with joint and muscle pain, it also helps out with making your skin very smooth. An added bonus. So go on over there to Amber Lawley, and remember, for every 3 items you buy, the 3rd one is free when you use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y. Go check them out.
Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? Don't this look like a nice pile of money? Yes, it does. Is it possible some of us are going to be sitting on this pile very soon? Or probably more exactly, a lot of us will be rolling naked on this pile. Yes, is it possible? Let's talk about the Iraqi Dinar exchange rate, shall we? Before we get started, hit the thumbs up button, because when you do, it helps us get past the algorithm that YouTube puts on us and keeps us from being shadow banned. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. The disclaimer here is I'm not a financial advisor, a lawyer, or an accountant. The information that I share with you, I do freely. It is of my own opinion. Hey folks, just a quick reminder that back in 2008 and 9, a lot of people lost all of their retirement savings in their 401ks and IRAs because they did not own gold and silver. Yeah, that's right. Gold and silver protects you from a market crash. So do yourself a favor, protect your retirement by purchasing gold and silver. You can go to moneymetals.com, reach out to them, and they will help you set yourself up to protect you and your family from having to start all over from scratch. If you're a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and they will send along with your order a free ½ ounce of silver. So folks, do yourself a favor, head on over to moneymetals.com and protect you and your family from a market crash, as well as inflation. That's right, head on over to Money Metals when you want to buy gold and silver. Keep in mind, if you're a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and you will get a free ½ ounce of silver. Hey, right now, a special offer for my audiences only. You have a chance to win 100 free American Silver Eagles. That's over $3,000 in value. And all you have to do is enter your email to win. That's it. That's right, there's no obligations to purchase. The link is down below in the description, so head on over there, enter to win. You have between now and December 31st of this year to enter. The only way you can for sure not win 100 silver American Eagles is by not entering at all. So do yourself a favor and enter your email so you have a chance to win. People keep asking me, where is the link, Pimpy? It's real simple. If you're at my page on YouTube and you're watching any of the videos, any of them, you see the video here and you scroll down, see my name right here? If you go here where it says show more and you click it, here's all the links to the things you have access to. If you want to enter into the competition to win 100 free medals, just click it right here and it'll take you to the website where you can sign up. For those of you looking for my address, there it is right here. As everyone is aware of an alternative website, the link is down below in the description. Over here, I post original content as well as other videos that have been banned from YouTube. It costs $3 a month to join for unlimited access, and all proceeds go to finding life's purpose. So come on over there and join us. Beware of scammers. That's right, people posing and pretending to be me. How you can tell us apart is real simple. If you post a comment and I respond, you will see a dark circle around my name. See this? It's either gray or black. I won't be sending you to WhatsApp, and I won't be sending you to Telegram or Telegraph or anything like that, nor would I be asking you for money. From time to time, I will be using material that's considered copywritten. I post this just to show that I am exercising my fair use rights.
Money, money, money.
So what is all the cheering about? Could it be that we are one step closer to a possible RI or RV for the Iraqi Dinar? Yes. Okay, but look, as much as this is fun and we want to be happy, I want to remind you to stay grounded. Until that money is in your bank account and you could see it in your balance. Don't celebrate too early. I don't want you guys spending the money in your head. I could see you guys with all the mansions and stuff like that. Parties, samurai sword knives. I'm just kidding, but you get what I'm saying? Stay grounded. Once that money is in your bank account, then celebrate. There's nothing wrong with being excited and happy that we might be one step closer to the Iraqi dinar exchange rate changing. Yes. So, what am I talking about? I did a video earlier saying how great this was. This news right here. It says the chairman of the committee of the financial expert revealed today, Thursday, that the U.S. Federal Reserve has stopped the automatic deduction from Iraqi oil revenues in favor of Kuwait's compensation. It says right here, and he indicated after that, Iraq will submit a request to the General Secretariat of the United Nations requesting that it be removed from the provisions of Chapter 7 of the UN Charter. Now remember, back in 2013, Iraq was removed from Chapter 7, punishment. But then they got back in trouble. I hear people talk about Chapter 7 all the time. It's amazing how little people have done research in Chapter 7. Chapter 7 is major. As a matter of fact, it's so big, it's one of the biggest steps we need to take in order for Iraq to do any type of rate change that it wants to. It's one thing to go up and down in these tiny little changes in the currency. It's another thing when outside forces control your purchasing power. Oh yeah. You see, that's what Chapter 7 does. Shall we? We shall. Now, mind you, this is an article from the first time they lifted Chapter 7. This is from back in 2013, like I said. But that's not the point. It's the details in here of what happens once Chapter 7 has been lifted. Do you see what it says here in the heading? With Chapter 7 lifted, Iraq regains control of its own economy. I know. Do the people dance. Do the people dance. I know you guys are excited. Here we go. The Kurdistan region, the lifting of the Chapter 7 sanctions last month can be considered one of Iraq's biggest achievements since the ouster of Saddam Hussein a decade ago, allowing Baghdad to regain control over its own currency, oil, and economy. Let me repeat that. Allowing Baghdad to regain control over its own currency, oil, and economy. Over its own currency. Chapter 7, imposed on Iraq by the United Nations Security Council after Saddam's invasion of Kuwait in 1991, froze all Iraqi assets in the international banks, ordering they be used to compensate victims of the aggression. Besides placing limits on use of its wealth, the sanctions also place limits on the Iraqi military. One of the biggest advantages of the lifting of this sanction is the return of all frozen assets to the Iraq government, estimated at somewhere around $82 billion, according to the central bank data. Its return will not only revitalize the economy, it will strengthen the value of the Iraqi dinar and increase its purchasing power. Let me rewind. Its return will not only revitalize the economy, it will strengthen the value of the Iraqi dinar and increase its purchasing power. A few hours after Chapter 7 was lifted, the value of the Iraqi dinar increased against other currencies. The exchange rate of the dinar was fixed against the US dollar, but its value continues to rise. Let me repeat that last part. The exchange rate of the dinar is fixed against the US dollar, but its value continues to rise. I did articles when I told you Iraq was keeping track of dual rates. I showed you it in the paperwork. One that they called the realized rate, and the other one was a rate that was currently being used. I did videos on that. I was wondering why the heck are they keeping track of two rates? Because the one that they were saying is the realized rate was a lot different than the one that they were showing that we all currently knew about. You see here, it says its return will not only revitalize the economy, it will strengthen the value of the Iraqi dinar and increase its purchasing power. A few hours after Chapter 7 was lifted, the value of the Iraqi dinar increased against other currencies. The exchange rate of the dinar is fixed against the US dollar, but its value continues to rise. And economic and banking experts expect the dinar will probably replace the dollar for investments, and that as demand for the dinar rises, so will its value. Yes, I know. I can feel the smiles right now. Yes, I know. Some of you are really excited, but I told you guys to stay grounded until that money is in your bank balance and you can validate it. Don't get overly excited. For all you know, it might only increase to about 1 cent. Sorry, I couldn't resist. We don't know what the value is going to be. So, yes, I get it, you guys. There's reason to be happy, there's reasons to be excited. Look, we don't want to get way ahead of ourselves. How many times in this whole dinar situation, in this whole arena of the dinar, have so many people been let down because you have a lot of assholes out there who lie? Okay? There's no dates, there's no rate here. In my other videos, I did show people what was being reported, but I'm not going to commit to no dates and no rates. I'm just saying, you saw the words here. You see it here in this article. But who the hell is this person writing this article? But it is hard not to get excited, huh? The lifting of Chapter 7 against Iraq will enable it to regain independence in its own oil policy, and Iraq again can become an important regional and international energy player, said the economic expert Dr. Ribwar Krishibus. That's how you pronounce his name for reals. Iraq plans to emerge as one of the world's biggest oil exports in 12 years. Now, remind you, it's dang near there now. So this article is from 2013. According to Iraq's energy plan, oil exports are expected to reach 6 million barrels per day by 2017, elevating the federal budget to around $216 billion. So as you can see right now, as of, October of 2021, Iraq is somewhere just over 4 million barrels per day. Here they're saying they're trying to get up to 6 million per day. They wanted that by 2017. Elevating the federal budget up big time. Look at that. So their overall goal is to export 9 million barrels per day by 2020. Obviously, they didn't get there yet. But I love this. Look at her. So they're talking about the budgets, how much they are in the billions. But here they make a boo-boo. Look at this. In 2025, the federal budget will reach $432 million. They did not mean millions, okay, guys? It will reach $432 billion if Iraq succeeds to export 12 million barrels per day. And remember, they just magically found a bunch of new oil fields, so keep that in mind. Under George Bush administration, the United States government agreed to keep $50 billion belonging to Iraq in America, and Obama's administration continued to do the same. An estimated $7.8 billion are blocked in Jordan and Lebanon, and a huge amount of capital belongs to Iraq Airways remains frozen in Kuwait and Jordan. The United Nations Council forced Iraq to compensate Kuwait for the estimated $52 billion following the first Gulf War. Iraq did not have an independent economic policy, with all of its income administered by Iraq's development program and supervised by the United Nations. 5% of Iraqi's annual oil revenues were allocated to compensate Kuwait. But what does this article say? Right here. They're only $43 million away from finishing this. And you can see here, they're going to petition right away to be removed out of Chapter 7. Now, this puts them into Chapter 6. So keep in mind, Iraq is moving from Chapter 7 to Chapter 6 of the United Nations. So what is Chapter 6? Chapter 6 of the United Nations Charter deals with peaceful settlement of disputes. Now remember, the disputes between Kuwait and Iraq are not 100% settled. Now, does that keep them from having a possible rate change? No, it shouldn't. It requires countries with disputes that could lead to war to first of all try to seek solutions through peaceful methods such as negotiations, inquiry, conciliation, arbitration, and all the other shins in there. Judicial settlement, resort to regional agencies or arrangements, or other peaceful means of their own choice. If the two countries can't come up with a resolution, then it falls back on the United Nations to come up with solutions. So, as I showed you right now, Chapter 7 and Chapter 6 are two different things. Chapter 7 is a lot more severe than Chapter 6. Chapter 7, there's sanctions. And Iraq is not control of their own economy, you guys. Chapter 6, on the other hand, is a lot more different. As this article points out, once again, let me read over the good news. I'm saying it slowly because I don't want people to get overly excited. No more pee-pee dance. Pay attention. The lifting of Chapter 7 sanctions can be considered one of Iraq's biggest achievements since the ouster of Saddam Hussein a decade ago, allowing Baghdad to regain control over its own currency, oil, and economy. One of the biggest advantages of the lifting of the sanction is the return of all frozen assets to the Iraqi government, estimated in the billions. Its return will not only revitalize the economy, it will strengthen the value of the Iraqi dinar and increase its purchasing power. The first time they lifted Chapter 7 sanctions was back in 2013, and here's what it said. A few hours after Chapter 7 was lifted, the value of the Iraqi dinar increased against other currencies. The exchange rate of the dinar is fixed against the dollar, but its value continues to rise. An economic and banking expert expects that the dinar will probably replace the dollar for investments, and that as demand for the dinar rises, so will its value. So, it's okay to be happy. It's okay to be a little excited, but stay grounded. Too many times people in this investment have been let down. There's no date there. There's no rate there. It merely tells you what happens once Iraq is removed from Chapter 7. This article is from December 9th, 2021. And you can see here, it tells you, after that, Iraq will submit a request to the General Secretariat of the United Nations requesting that it be removed from the provisions of Chapter 7 of the United Nations Charter. Don't quit your job yet. Don't start spending the money in your head. Be happy, be a little excited, but don't get overboard. We have no idea what's going to happen. We have no idea if they're even going to lift them out of Chapter 7. We don't know what they're going to do until they do it. And even once they removed Iraq out of Chapter 7, we're not sure what's going to happen after that or how long it's going to take. But you saw in that article that the Iraqi dinar most likely will replace the United States dollar as an investment, and you are already way ahead of the ball game. Now that doesn't mean rush out, start mortgaging your house and buying more dinar. Too many of you guys have learned your lesson the hard way. That doesn't mean hawk your coins or hawk your gold and silver. Don't get ahead of yourself. Because if it doesn't happen, then you'll be mad, depressed, and upset and, getting crazy. Just hang tight with what you got. Again, there's no way of knowing if and when this is going to happen. I just wanted to share how important that article was and what it meant to be out of Chapter 7. Don't be shy. You can share this video. I don't have a problem with it. All right, you guys, I'll catch you later. Hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. And I'll catch you later. I'm out.